I miss making food. Oh my god.
Really?
They don't have no spots here in Newport News.
Hmm. I think a Abeo is there. That's a Abeo right there. Wiggly kneecaps. That's her.
Should I change my name? Does that sound goofy?
No, I like it. Did you change? You see it, Abeo?
Yeah.
Click. You click on her name, and then you see it should come up. The option should come up. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. So how was your day been? It's been a good day there in Virginia. Hmm. Okay. Right. Okay. Mhm. 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 I don't know, Kat. I don't know if it's the same for everybody else, but it's your screen is free. Is it freezing for you? You're freezing for me, and a Bale too.
For the Wi-Fi and
Because when we did this earlier, it was just fine.
okay. It was fine. Okay, so how
Yeah.
about
Yeah, it's better.
okay? It's good.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm
Yeah.
just on the network. Okay, so yes. Okay, thank you. Cat is choppy. Yes, we
Yeah.
hopefully we fix that. Let me know
Mhm.
if I'm coming
That's much
in
better. It's
clear and
much
all that
better. You're
stuff.
clear. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, you guys, I'm so pleased to be here with you all. Like,
Mhm.
it's really been a while. It's been a minute. I'm here with my sister, the migrating mom, Rukia. Oh my
Hello.
goodness. Yes, you guys are in for a treat today. So if you're not familiar with my sis, the migrating mom, you better get familiar, you guys, because she is just a profound sister who is very well traveled. And as her name describes, the migrating mom, she is just that. She's been to, I don't know how many different countries, lived in, I don't know how many different countries, travel thing, she does this. Okay. She is a holistic wellness relocation coach, amongst many other things, a herbalist, a gardener, all of these things. So today our conversation is something that has been needed in our community for such a long time, and I'm just honored to have her here. Sis, if you want to give yourself a little introduction, and
Oh,
we
I
can
think you
kind
did
of
just
hop
fine.
right in.
Hey,
Okay.
I'm happy to be here. I'm Rukia, the migrating mom. Um, I am currently located in Accra, Ghana. We have been here since 2021. I have lived in some other places. Of course, y'all know I lived in Tanzania for about 4 years. That's how I met Kat. Before that, I was in some other places, Southeast Asia. I lived in Bahrain, the Virgin Islands, a bunch of different places. So um, yeah, so I'm here. I'm a certified herbalist. I'm a teacher, a designer, a few different things that I do. I'm also a certified life coach. So that's where my coaching um, services come in. So I kind of combine all of these things for my life coaching service. I also have a degree in Pan African Studies. So yeah.
Right on. Yes, beautiful, beautiful compilation of things. So you guys, what today is really about is the importance of mental, emotional, spiritual wellness before you move out to the continent of Africa. And really this conversation can be applied to anywhere
Mhm. Yeah.
anywhere you go, because y'all, we're everywhere. We're in Southeast Asia,
Mhm.
we're in the Central
Yeah.
America, South America, we're
Yep.
Europe, we're here, we're there, so it can be applied to anywhere. But I want to start off by asking you, sis, like,
Mhm.
what made you want to become a holistic wellness relocation coach?
Well, as you know, when I was in Tanzania, I was doing like general relocation consulting, relocation coaching. And what I learned from that, and that's primarily, not primarily, but pretty much all of the people and the clients that I had were Black American or located in the UK. So, and all these people, I noticed that I felt like more needed to be done and more needed to be worked on than just the logistics, right? Because that's all I was handling, right? I was just dealing with people would, they would come with their, I would tell you in the email, come with your list of questions and ask me what you need to ask me so we make the most of our time, right? Together. Because there were 45 to an hour sessions. So people would ask me stuff about visas, where to move to, where to find this, where to find that, plane tickets, how to get dog, how to get my dog over there, schools, and those things I was happy to answer, but I felt like um there's more work that needs to be done before, especially before um a member of the diaspora moves to the continent. So
Hmm.
there's much,
Yeah.
much more than just the logistics that needs to be done because a lot of people were moving and they weren't staying, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So, and the goal is not to just move, for those of us who are already here, we want more of us, we want more Black Americans to come here, but we also
Absolutely.
want you to stay. If you come and we want you to be, I don't like to see people leave, because they run out of money or because they don't understand exactly what they're getting into when they come over here and the maybe the place they need to be in here before they even get here. Right.
Right.
So those things
Hmm.
I feel need to be worked on before you come here. If at all possible, yeah. Because these days it's 2024. These days the logistics, I mean, where to live, you know, the visas, like you can find that out on your own. You can Google that stuff on your own. Yeah, like I mean, the places like when people ask me about housing, I'll give you the same website I use. Like, and you can look it up yourself. Like, it's not that's nothing. That's nothing. So yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
In mindset and on that shift in
Mhm.
our emotions and
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I did unintentionally as well, exactly. Yeah.
it
Mhm.
has to be
It is.
intentional. And sometimes
Yeah.
not know where to start for real. And
Mhm.
I had went through like a major loss of my grandfather and things like that before I
Yeah.
transitioned out to the continent. And so that kind
Mhm.
of and it happened dead in the middle of like my transition. So it's like, that
Right.
kind of forced me to be still and be more
Mhm.
introspective about some things as well. But like,
Yeah.
you know, where to start is really like a
Mhm.
big thing, so like
Mhm.
um what are some of the things that you
Mhm.
focus on as a holistic wellness relocation coach?
Right. So because it's holistic, that means it's your physical, spiritual, emotional. Um, we can get into some financial things, but but that also a big portion of that is going to be left up to you, to the client as well. You know, so we're both basically focusing on everything, you as a whole being. Everybody has different parts they need to work on. So like somebody, maybe more emotional, somebody else maybe physical, and maybe it depends on what, each person needs something a little bit different. you know. Did I say spiritual? I meant to say, I don't know if it's a spiritual also. That is a huge aspect of it, especially if you're coming to the continent. So about 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Hmm.
That, please go over to her channel and check that
Hmm.
out. So we might be asking some of the same questions and having a little bit
Yeah.
of the same conversation, but
Hmm.
like when it comes to, okay, let me put it like this. What is the
Hmm.
biggest thing that you see,
Hmm.
like you just explained, it is all holistic
Yeah.
and it all is individual, it all
Yeah.
is individual, but when it comes to just kind of us as a collective, like what is one of the biggest areas of work that you see that we need
Mhm.
to, that you're constantly working on with us?
Um, Before people arrive here, the biggest, the most frequent challenge I think people are facing is fear, because that encompasses so many different things. That's somebody says, "I'm going to be far away from my family." That's fear. What am I going to do for work? That's fear. So a lot of a lot of it is based on fear. And then the only way that you can abolish fear is by learning more about what it is you're afraid of. So, that's the biggest thing I see. And once people arrive here, and this is the main component of what I like to focus on, is because once people arrive here, I feel like, and this is anywhere, actually not just a continent, this is especially anywhere when you're outside of your whatever you call home, right? Is being able to listen to yourself and being able to follow your intuition. Because if you don't, if you're unable to do that, you will get yourself in a lot of trouble, because you're going to be somewhere where you more than likely you don't know the language and the customs, and all you have to go on is your gut feeling, right? What you feel here, your intuition. So you have to learn how to read
Yeah.
your body when you're talking to somebody. How do you feel when you see somebody and you're talking? How do you feel about this person? And
Hmm.
that takes practice. It took me years. It takes practice to do that.
Yeah,
To
it really
to
does.
be able to have a conversation with a complete stranger and also at the same time analyze your body at the same time to figure out what you're feeling and
Yeah.
where in your body you're feeling it. It takes practice, you
It takes a
know?
lot of practice. It takes a lot of
Yeah.
courage to even start to do that, because I want to,
Yeah.
this kind of connects to what you were saying about like the family part. You're afraid to leave your family and things like that.
Yeah.
I feel like that can also relate to what has your family growing up, what has your family instilled in you? Why do you like
Yeah.
understanding your fears, understanding why you
Yeah.
feel a certain way? Because,
Mhm.
a lot of times these mindsets of fear, these mindsets of lack, a lot of things
Yeah.
that we face growing up,
Mhm.
um, you know, they're instilled in us, and the voice that we're hearing that's fearful, that's not even
It's
our
not even
voice.
yours.
That's these
Exactly. Yep.
things. Exactly. That's these things
Mhm.
that growing up or going through certain situations after you're
Yeah.
even grown have implanted in your mind and kind of burrowed
Yeah.
themselves in there, and to shake these loose. And like that goes back to the point that Sis was saying about, it's important that you know how to understand and read your body. You
Yeah.
understand and rely on yourself.
You
You
have
see
to be
what I'm saying?
confident. Yeah.
Hmm.
You have to build the confidence to know that you have to be able to trust yourself. Because that's
Yeah.
really a lot of times in a lot of situations when you're out here in these global streets, that's all you have.
Yeah.
For me, a
Seriously.
lot of times, sometimes every once in a while it's wrong, but like most of the time, if you can rely on yourself, you're gonna be correct. You know?
Right. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very important, and that, like, I feel like that just goes along with these practices that you have to develop.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
I was literally like getting out there bare water in my garden, like connecting with
Yeah.
the earth. Like,
Grounding. Yeah.
meditation can be painting, meditation, so many different things for so
Yeah.
many different people. Just
Mhm.
being able to still your mind and be at peace and be uh present. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That really does help a lot. That really does help a
Mhm.
lot.
Mhm.
So what about the people that are, okay, let's say you're focusing on relocation, but what about the people who are
Yeah.
like already settled wherever they're at? Do you
Yeah.
offer services to them as well?
Yeah, I have right now I have a there's a there's a program, and there's also just like general consultation. So that would fall under like general consultation.
Okay.
Something could be created for somebody if they felt like they want an ongoing, like, they
Mhm.
want an ongoing um consults. But like, yeah, somebody who's already here, of course,
Right. Good. Good.
because what I found too was like, you know that a lot of us who are in different countries, we still talk to each other all the time. Like I
Yeah.
talk to you, as I talk to my sister in Namibia. I got, so we're in communication. So it seems like a lot of the issues that we have, those of us who are already here, are similar. There are a lot of the
Right.
challenges we have are similar. So yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah. And that
It doesn't matter where
that's
you are. If you're
another.
already here, yeah, I can do that too. Yeah.
Okay, and good,
Mhm.
because that, it's important, because sometimes we need to be tapping in with each other as well. Like,
Ugh,
and that brings me to a
this is the
whole nother
truth.
point that I know you're gonna feel me on. It's like the importance
Yeah.
of community. You know,
Mhm.
like that. Honestly, I didn't really feel like I had a solid community,
Yeah.
until I really moved down, to Dar es Salaam, because I was in
Yeah.
Arusha.
Mhm.
People there, like here and there, but like solid community, like of people who I could call my sisters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we held each other accountable. We had very real
Mhm.
conversations with each other. We were physically
Yeah.
together when we could be, when time permitted. And I feel like those that's one of the most important things about your transition, is that
Yeah.
that feel of community. And sometimes people go and they find it right away, and sometimes it
Mhm.
takes years. Like
I
for
was
me,
gonna
it
say
took
that.
years.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
took years. It
Mhm.
took years for me too. And
Yeah.
that is something that I feel like emotionally you need to prepare yourself for, because it can get. I don't want to. It can get. I don't know. Lonely is the right word, because it can be that too. But for some time, yeah, okay. Because some people don't like that word, but like for me, yeah, it took me years in Dar. It took me like until you came up to Dar, and then like everybody kind of came around that same time. So then we all kind of found each other. Here, I've been here since 2021, and I still don't have a community here. I mean, my community is my husband and my children. Like I don't really deal with too many people outside of that. You know, and so mhm.
To who can
Yeah.
relate who can relate to some of the same struggles that you have adjusting to your new life wherever you
Mhm.
are. And like I said, you might not find it immediately. Some people are blessed and lucky enough to
Yeah.
find it, relatively quickly. And
Mhm.
that's why I don't know if I want to completely say this, but I feel like it's
Mhm.
so important that we try to create these communities or sub communities within the place
Mhm.
where we're at.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit up and say that I'm going to be hosting like kumbaya circles or anything like that,
Right.
or
Yeah, I get it.
I'm not, because to be honest, I don't personally have the capacity to do that all the time. I'll show up
Right.
when I can and stuff like that, but there is a need for communities, and I
Mhm.
am working on a way to bring us all together. And it's not
Mhm.
something that can, it's such a intricate thing. And it's
Mhm.
such a delicate thing that things that need to transpire in order for us to come together. I'm not talking about just
Yes.
like, one little event or something like that. I'm talking
Right.
about
Like real
something
community.
that would, yeah,
Yeah.
seriously,
Somebody
because
says
I
here
see.
in the you need community for a healthy lifestyle. It
I would
doesn't
say,
always. It does. It is. It's. I
go
mean,
ahead, you take it first.
the
Hmm.
truth is, it's not. You're not always going to have community when you leave your home country. You're not. I don't
Hmm.
care where you're going, you're coming from, or you're going to. You're not going to have it. You're not gonna. I
Hmm.
can't say I love Thailand, and that's one of my favorite places I've ever lived. Right? I didn't go there. I'm not gonna not go to Thailand because there aren't other Black people there. Like, you
Mhm.
see what I'm saying? Like, you don't
Right,
and well,
right.
when I got there, there were plenty of us there, but, like,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna that's not gonna hinder the way I move because I'm confident with this. So once you get confident up in here, you can wait for your community because if you want to be a part of a community just to be a part of a community, you're gonna get, especially in Africa, you're gonna get yourself in a whole lot of trouble because we
You're
out
gonna
here
get hemmed
scamming
up.
each other too. We out here doing each other dirty too. So if you out here, you
Yeah.
just want to be a part of something just because you want to be a part of a community because you think you need it to be healthy, no, you need to wait for your people. Wait for your
Yep.
people.
Eh,
They're coming and they'll come, but you can't just be trying to be part of everybody and everything because you feel like you just need people. You don't need that. You don't need it. I'm telling you, you don't. It will come,
and
but it's nothing that you need as soon as you land, as soon as you arrive somewhere, you don't need it.
yep, and I wanna go ahead and answer that, or respond
Mhm.
to that as well. Like, okay, I do agree in a sense.
Mhm. Mhm. Exactly. Exactly. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Exactly. Telling you. Yeah. Mhm. Right. Yeah.
We first coming out and things like that, you have outer community,
Mhm.
you need inner community.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be so okay with,
Yes.
like, pouring into yourself
Yourself.
and
Yeah.
things like that. Yeah,
That's the only way you're gonna make
because
it. That's the only way you're gonna make if you're
mhm,
somebody who comes from a place where like I know a lot of people come from like these huge families, they do like all they do have community friend all these close friends and all and they come abroad and they're lonely and they're missing that. If you're the kind you are the kind of person who needs that to survive, you need that to be a part of your life, then this might not be the life for you. Because I'm
yeah,
not gonna be sitting here and telling everybody it's for everybody. Everybody who
and
wants to go
sugarcoating.
shouldn't.
No,
Everybody who wants
no.
just because you want
Mhm.
to doesn't mean you should. Right? So
Right.
it's not for everybody. There's only everybody's not built for this because it's not easy. So if you know
It's
that
not for the faint of
if you
heart.
know that's something you
Yeah.
need, then you need to go somewhere where you will find that, you know?
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
so
And I always say this, like, I'm not here to sell anybody a dream. I'm
listen.
not here to downplay how difficult this transition
Yeah.
is. I was lucky enough to, like, maybe a couple months after I came out, I met the man who I was going to marry, which
Yeah.
is my husband, and
Same
he
here.
helped me navigate through a lot of that.
Mhm. About it. It's not. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
But you're still in that kind of limbo phase where you know you're looking for, or you're waiting for your tribe to come. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And you tired of sharing his friends. You know what I'm saying? You tired of that. So, like, I mean, they cool or
It's
whatever, but, like,
true.
you need your own.
It's
Yes, sis,
true.
I know you can attest to this. So it's
Yeah.
it's I guess that you're gonna go through of
Yeah.
self. It's just so important that you have to fill up your own cup
Yeah.
because, like Rakia said, like, people who come from big families and people who come from very highly social
Mhm.
environments in their home countries, sometimes I do see them having a hard time adapting,
Yeah.
because you're in a foreign country. papers and wrote the
Yeah.
dissertation paper, whatever the case may be, it doesn't mean that you really, really know about the culture unless you
Put
set
here.
foot
Yeah.
there, you know. And yes, doing your research is actually paramount. Like you shouldn't just go into the place blind, you know, about other people's culture and things like that. But once you actually set foot here, the real test begins.
Yeah.
Um, as to like how you're going to handle new
Mhm.
situations. You
Yeah.
know, the
Yeah.
patience. Your
Mhm.
patience is something that will be tested, even if it's the most westernized.
Whew. Mhm. You're freezing up a little bit for me. Yeah.
Uh, hop back on the. I might have to go in like inside.
Yeah, that's better. It's better.
Yes. So your pace is something that's going to be tested. You know, it's just important that you fill up your own
Yeah.
cup. You
This,
know,
I
you
made a
fill up your
post.
own
I
cup.
made a post yesterday. I don't know, recently on Instagram about how I was really thinking about it, and I was thinking like, man, living here on the continent has really been like more than anywhere else I have lived. It's like boot camp. It's like self-awareness,
Mhm.
self-reflection, crash course, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because
Hmm.
of the thing, because life comes at you so fast here, it seems like that. It's not like because you're constantly learning. Your mind is always working because you're learning new cultural things, you're learning new languages, you're learning
Hmm.
all new things, and so like everything seems like it's coming at you much faster than it normally would.
Yeah.
And you really have to take a look at yourself and like how you're relating to people. If you're doing it right, right? Okay. And then
Yeah.
you're looking at yourself and how am I relating to people? Is this correct? Is that correct? It's your mind is constantly going. And so I feel like things move faster. So it's kind of like a crash course. Like I feel like what we have learned about ourselves just living here for these few amount of years we've been on the continent or
Hmm.
wherever you are abroad, but here especially, like it takes people twice that long to learn it if you still sitting in your home country. That's what I feel like, you know, because a lot of these lessons I would not
Because
have
I
learned if
mean,
I was in
we're
the
go
United
ahead.
States and never left. It would have taken me a lifetime to learn some of the stuff I've learned. I don't know if that's good or bad because it can be stressful, but like I'm just telling you, like that's how I feel. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, that's true. Hmm. A little bit. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, you're still freezing out. Hmm.
Good. Am I still freezing?
It's a little bit, yeah. You're like the picture is
Okay.
freeze
You know,
choppy, but the voice is okay.
is it okay? You know what? Let me try to do this. I'm
Okay,
gonna.
while you do that, I'm going to answer this question. How is West
Okay.
Africa different from the East? Is one better than the other? No, I wouldn't say one is better than the other. No, but they're just different. It's like apples to oranges. It's two different places. It's two completely different places. I find that here, life here is one is more expensive that in general. I'll tell you that. Just the cost of living is higher here, at least in Ghana and Accra it is than it is in Tanzania and Dar es Salaam. But yeah, it's just to me, it's just a bit more. I don't know how to explain it. It's a bit more lively. Um, there for me, I feel like there is it depending on what you like to do. There's more to do here as far as city life, as far as like, you want I don't know, you want like shopping and like all that type of all the stuff you can do in the US kind of you can basically do that here in Accra. Dar es Salaam, Tanzania was more nature for me. I felt like, you have the opportunity, you can go to Zanzibar, you can go to Arusha, you can go to Kilimanjaro, you can go to, there's islands you can go to off of Dar, take you 20-minute boat ride, you can get to those. For
Right.
me, like living in Tanzania was much more nature based. So therefore, I found it to be a little more like a slower pace of life there than here for sure. But yeah, I wouldn't say one is better than the other. There are definitely certain things that I miss about Tanzania, like that, like the nature aspect and the fruits and the vegetables and stuff. But there are things that I definitely appreciate about living here. That's for sure. So,
Okay. So
yeah.
I actually have a question
Mm,
for you that kind of piggybacks off of that one. I don't
yeah.
think I've asked you this before, but how
Hmm.
does it feel? Okay, how does it feel like spiritually? You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Or on an
yeah.
emotional level? What's the difference? Like, because like you
There's a
said, nature
difference.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what I feel like Ghana was calling me. Like that's how deep it was. Like when I got to Tanzania, so when we were in Tanzania, I came from Thailand. We went to Rwanda first. And then Rwanda, I really was like, it was like a super disconnect. I'm like, it's nice. And I also wanted to be near water, like on a coast. So we
Mhm.
moved to I got to Tanzania and I was like, oh, I loved, like the climate, the climate, the weather, the how I liked all of those things living there, but I didn't
Mhm.
feel any connection to I'm gonna be honest, I didn't feel any connection to Tanzania. I loved it just like I loved anywhere else that I have been that I thought
Mhm.
was that I liked and liked enough to stay, right? So
Mhm.
but when I came to Ghana, um I like the pollution here I didn't like, the I don't know, just there are certain things that I really wasn't really fucking with when I came with. But, like,
Mhm.
even still, when I came to visit, still, I was just like, something was calling me here. Like, I just felt it everywhere. It was more so like the land was speaking to me here. That's what I felt like.
Mhm.
Not the people, not nothing else. It was like the land was like, you need to come back here. It was just
That's
pulling me and pulling
wow.
me and pulling me. And so I visited in November and then I moved exactly to the day almost 1 month later, I moved here. But even before that, it was calling me. I have been trying to get here several times, and it just
Mhm.
didn't work out. And I feel like it happened when it was supposed to,
Yeah.
you know? It
Always.
happened
Yeah.
exactly when it was supposed to. So, but yeah, I just felt like spiritually, I was being called here. I was being pulled here
Mhm.
to the land. And that's why I was also so quick to buy land. Not really quick. It took me like what a year or some change, but like that's why I bought land here. I was so serious about doing that when I got here is because it was just calling me. It was calling me to come here and to
That's
stay. I
wow.
really can't even explain it any other way. Like, but I did not feel that way in Tanzania. I didn't. I
Mhm.
love Tanzania. Tanzania, I love it. I love the people. I love it. But it was not like that when I was there. It was just a connection, like almost like if you had like meeting a family member or like maybe a brother or sister you had never met before and you see them for the first time and they're foreign to you, they're new to you, but
Yeah.
you still can
Mhm.
feel, like that connection. That's what it was like when I came to Ghana. That's what it felt like.
Wow, that's so crazy that you describe it that way because that's how I feel about Tanzania.
In Tanzania?
Like,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, like when I got there, I felt something felt familiar, right? Something felt
Mhm.
very familiar about Tanzania. And I believe in past lives. I believe in,
Yeah.
things like that. I'm not saying in my direct past life, but maybe somewhere down my
Mhm.
lineage, But it was something about that land, like you said, and it wasn't even so
Yeah.
much the people. The people in Tanzania, they're really
They're
cool, they're
wonderful.
nice, they're
Yeah.
different, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm. Yeah.
than what I grew up with. But um it was something almost primal that was within me
Mhm.
that was like, I
Yeah.
need to be here. And
Yeah.
specifically Arusha,
Arusha,
between
okay.
because where I lived in Arusha, I used to live on this hill where you can see Mount Meru and Mount
Mhm.
Kilimanjaro in the
Mhm.
dusk. You know what I'm saying? Like when the sun was setting. And
Yeah.
when I tell you it was something just so spiritual
Mhm.
about that place. And
Yeah.
yes, it was the greenery, it was
Yeah.
it was the beauty of it, but something was just beating out of my chest
Yeah,
about that place, you
exactly.
know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, so that's how
you
it
got
felt
some
when I was
collard greens yet since you've been home? You know I did get some collard
here.
greens. You know I did. And I've been spending a lot of time with my grandmother because she's the matriarch of the family.
Mhm.
She's 95. She'll be 96 in
Oh,
September.
wow.
And
Yeah.
yeah, still sassy, still functioning, still everything she needs to be at 95 years
Yeah.
old. So of course I'm gonna seize the opportunity to get in the kitchen with her and have the
Mhm.
Queen of Soul teach me her ways, her
Yeah.
ways of making soul food. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I knew how to make collard greens before, but not like she did. So yes, I
Okay.
have some collard
Can
greens.
you find collard greens in Tanzania or no?
Yeah, there's something very similar to collard greens called Sukuma wiki that literally
Mm.
translates to push the week. I don't know what that like what the
Okay, that's
relation is.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But maybe
Yeah.
they eat it to push the week through with the food. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, Sukuma wiki is the closest thing to collard greens that I found. They're kind of thick like collards, a little
Okay.
bitter. But yeah, I mean they're good. My husband
Yeah.
doesn't like them in Tanzania. I mean, he likes the collard greens here.
Right.
But he doesn't really eat Sukuma wiki. But
Okay.
yeah, but
Okay.
yeah, man.
Okay.
But yeah, like back to what I was saying, this is something I also wanted to just kind of say.
Mhm.
And you can let me know if you've experienced this as well, sis. But like,
Mhm.
um, I felt like specifically when I was up in Arusha, but
Yeah.
just all over Tanzania, kind of when I really hone in on myself and my inner
Mhm.
well-being,
Yeah.
and when I start to do my manifestation practices, or when I
Uh-huh.
start to ask the universe for certain things, or help with balancing certain things, I feel like
Mhm.
things manifest a lot quicker
Sure.
uh,
Yeah.
in Tanzania. And I don't, not to
Mhm.
romanticize the place because y'all know I'm not even the type. It is what it is. But I really do feel like things come to fruition a lot
Mhm.
faster. And I feel that's because of this pole pole lifestyle. So pole pole means slow, right? In
Mhm.
Swahili, that means slow. And with this slowness, we are afforded the opportunity to slow down,
Mhm.
to kind of dive within, to be. And I've
I'm
said
just
that since like my first video back in
yeah.
2017, 2016.
Yeah.
Um, the slow lifestyle is a luxury almost
Yeah,
when you
it
think
is
about
for
it,
sure.
because out here where everything is so fast paced, you don't get the chance to slow down. You don't get the chance to kind of
Mhm.
like um sit with yourself and get to
Yeah.
learn yourself in certain capacities. So
Yeah.
when you start to do work like that, you find out your power, really, when it
Mhm.
comes to calling things forth, when it comes to
Yeah.
executing the things you want, and creating ultimately the life that you want to have.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah,
mean,
I
I
was
don't
just
know.
gonna say that. Like, I feel like that's
Mhm.
the reason why it start. I feel like once you start diving within and you start learning yourself and you start understanding exactly how powerful you are, things will manifest faster for you. So that you
Yeah.
basically answered, like you said, that's what I was going to say. Is like the reason why is because you are living a bit slower. You can actually like focus on, what you need to pour into yourself in order to
Right.
make that shit make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And so
Mhm.
that's why things can manifest faster for you. But when you're all over the place and life is moving too fast and you can't sit with yourself,
Mhm.
or you don't make time to sit with yourself because it's up to you to make that time. So if you don't make time to sit with yourself, um, you may find it harder for what the things that you want in life to come to fruition. Yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree.
Mhm.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
um Sorry, let me just grab some water. This
Mhm.
Sorry, real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, it's dusty in here. But yeah, yeah. So I really feel like that was one of the biggest things that
Mhm.
I noticed, is the
Yeah.
ability to just calm down and to
Yeah.
kind of um go on my own healing journey through that, because even though
Mhm.
things can be frustrating, even though the lifestyle adjustments and stuff like that can be daunting, like it's important that you do that. And
Yeah.
that kind of goes into my next question for you, like
Mhm.
off the top of your head, like what are some of the main things that you would suggest that
Mhm.
people do, like when they're just top first thing you need to even think about doing, if when
Mhm.
it comes to spiritual well-being, mental
Mhm.
well-being, and things like that, what is something that people need to really focus on first before they
Learning
transition?
learning how to follow your intuition, like we said earlier. For
Mhm.
me, I feel like if you cannot do that, I don't think you're gonna survive. You're not gonna
Mhm.
survive. If you don't have the confidence to trust yourself, you have to be confident enough to know that you can make the right decision for yourself. You have to be
Right.
confident enough that you know your body well enough to be able to detect whether somebody is feeding you some bullshit or not.
Mhm.
Like, and you're
Yeah.
not always gonna win that battle because I've lost a few, you know what I'm saying? But like you have to have that confidence
Yeah.
and know that and trust yourself enough to know, listen to your voice that you have in you to navigate some of this out here. You have to learn how to do
Yeah.
that for yourself. You can't be the
Yeah.
kind of person who's always asking somebody, what do I do about this? What do I do about you can't, it's not gonna work because when you move here, you're gonna have a lot of people who don't understand your journey.
Mhm.
So you're
Yeah.
gonna have to. There's a lot of times where the only person you can rely on is yourself when it comes to certain decisions. So you really need to be able to trust yourself and your intuition. So and you can
Yeah.
start by doing that wherever you are. Just like whenever you're talking to somebody, how do I feel in my body? Does my
Check
stomach
in.
tighten up? Do I?
Mhm.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
whenever just listen to what your body is telling you when you talk to different people.
Right.
Right? That's
Yeah.
that's exactly where you start and do it over and over every day, whenever you can, try and do that. And I'm
Mhm.
telling you, that will take you very, very far out. No matter what country you're in, you will be able to survive if you can do that.
Right, I agree, and that leads me to another point. I used to
Mhm.
say this a lot when it came to like when I was telling people like the differences in dating and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
really, this can just be applied across the culture when you're figuring out or trying to navigate like new people and a whole new
Mhm.
culture and stuff like that. Sometimes it can be very difficult to distinguish a character flaw from a cultural
Culture. Oh,
difference.
we've talked about this a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that's why it's just like doubly important that you try to tap in with yourself. And yeah, like
Yeah.
when you first come out, it's going to be battles that you lose. Like, you
It
know what I'm saying?
is. Yeah.
And I don't and it doesn't even have to be like a huge battle. It could be like somebody ripping you off
Mhm.
at the supermarket
Yeah.
telling you these
But
greens cost, X
can I
amount.
say something
When it
too about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It is also important that you need to learn to be okay with losing sometimes.
Mhm.
Let me tell y'all something. Know that when you come out here, I don't care what country you go to and how much less the cost of living is there than where you coming from, you're going to lose money. You're gonna lose
Yeah.
it. Somebody gonna
Mhm.
charge you too much. You're gonna whatever. Somebody gonna steal from you. Somebody, whatever it is, however you lose it, you're going to
Mhm.
lose some money. Be okay with it. Be
Yeah.
okay with it. Because I mean,
Mhm.
of all the countries I've been to, I'm telling you, it's always somebody's going to overcharge you. It's always going to be something. And I'm not saying it happens all the time, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Nobody is perfect. It happens. This being in these global streets, it's a learning process for all of us. So
Mhm.
don't beat yourself up, when these things happen because they're going to happen. But you're going to lose some money. Okay, along the way
Mhm.
somewhere, whether it's a plane ticket you buy, you missed a flight, or so anything I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. And be okay with
Yeah.
be okay with taking a couple L's when you
Charge
come
it to
out
the
here.
game. Yeah. Charge it
Learn
to
to
the
be
game.
okay with that.
Exactly.
Learn to be okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. It is, and if you really look at it, every moment in life that's difficult is a teachable moment,
Yeah.
whether that's for you or you use that as an
Mhm.
example to teach someone else what not to do. But it's all a teachable moment. And I mean, at the end of the day, the most fundamental thing that I would say, you have to know why. You have to know
Mhm.
why you're doing it, why you want to make this transition. And I know that sounds like duh, cat, like duh, like that's the easiest thing for me. I know why, because it's too
Yeah.
expensive here in America, because it's too this, and these can all be valid reasons. But
Yeah.
um on a deeper level,
Thank you.
what's your
Yes.
reason?
Yeah.
What's your reasoning? Because as I said in a previous video, specifically Africa's it's y'all see me struggle with this word. Specifically Tanzania, even because I've spent the most time there, it
Yeah.
has a way of weeding people out, and
Mhm. Yeah.
essentially it can chew you up and spit you out.
Ooh, girl.
If you are ill equipped, if you are
It's the
not
same down here.
prepared.
It's the same here.
Yeah.
If not, if
Hmm.
not more intense here than it is there. Yeah.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it
Yeah.
because I think, from what
Yeah.
I feel, I have never been to Ghana. I've never been to West
Yeah.
Africa, actually.
We
I've
can get
only
you here,
been to
girl.
South Africa and
Yeah.
uh, I think, where else? Yeah, that's it. That's it. I had a layover in
Mhm.
Egypt, but that doesn't even count. But
Mhm.
you know, I find that the people are more direct out there in
Mhm.
West Africa in general,
Yeah.
and I feel like there's more aggression, and not necessarily in a negative way. It's just the people are more, like you said,
Yeah.
direct, upfront,
Yeah.
or
Mhm.
to the
Yeah.
point. So I feel like it's going to be, the whole transition is going to be different, when it comes
Mhm.
to West Africa and East Africa. But it's, you really have to understand why you're doing it, because
Mhm.
it can leave you with a bad taste in your mouth. And there's a lot of people who get on here, and have so much negative things to say about it, and
Mhm.
never to negate their experience. You can't take that away. I will never try to take
Yeah.
that away from anyone. If they had a negative, positive, whatever their experience, it was their
Yeah.
experience. But a lot of times, you don't have a full picture of what went on. You don't have a full picture of maybe things that they did or they didn't do that
Right.
contributed to the ultimate failure or the demise of their whole journey.
Right.
So, like I even tell y'all, even with me, don't even believe what I say. Go do your own research and
Listen.
tap into
Exactly.
yourself. Tap
Yeah.
into yourself, and it's gonna feel a
Exactly.
certain way. You're gonna
Mhm.
know the truth by how it feels. You see what I'm
Feels.
saying?
Yes.
And
Yes.
you have to do your own research. You have to understand why you're doing it, because if one
Mhm.
video of somebody complaining about how 1, 2, 3, 4 happened
Mhm.
is going to deter you completely
Mhm.
from
Mhm.
your move or your transition or your relocation, then it wasn't for you in the
It's
first
not for
place,
you. Right.
because
Exactly.
something within you should be unshakable. Something
Thank
within you. I'm not gonna say you have to
you.
have a visit from the high ancestors or whatever, drink coming
Yeah.
swooping down on you or whatever. You don't have to have all of that, but it's gonna be
Mhm.
something like a roar, a
Yeah, that's
rumble
part of the
within
calling
you.
I was talking about
It
earlier. Like
is.
you have
It's
to
a
feel
calling.
like you will feel it.
Hmm.
It is something that like
Yeah.
you cannot ignore it, right? You
Yeah.
cannot ignore
Hmm.
it.
I agree.
When
Yeah.
and so like because there are things that are going to happen here that are going to it's going to shake you and it's going to try and
Hmm.
you're right. You have to know why. What's your reason
Yeah.
why? Besides the
Hmm.
surface level things. Oh, if Trump wins, I'm leaving. I have a friend. I was talking to her. I won't say her name if you dare. Hey, girl. But she was saying, if you can't survive a Trump presidency, you're not gonna be able to survive on the continent anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you can't
Yeah.
survive these things, the kind of governance that goes on in these countries. You're not gonna be able to survive here
Mm.
anyway. So
Yep.
running from something is not a reason. But you need to figure out
Mm.
what is the deeper reason, like Kat said. What's the reason? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Some of
Hmm.
it's you have to really sit down and sit with yourself for that. If you think you want to come over here to whatever country,
Hmm.
what's the real reason? What's the real reason?
Yeah.
Because you couldn't pay me. You couldn't. I'm not going back. Like I mean, to
Hmm.
live, no. And I know my reason, and I'm not going back.
Right.
So
Hmm.
you have to know
Yeah.
what your reason is, and it may take
Hmm.
you some time, and it may take you some time to figure it out. Just because. it may take you a while, and that's okay too. I've
That's
talked to
totally
people
okay.
who didn't move to the continent or didn't make their move for years
Mhm.
until until years after they first came up with the idea of it, and that's okay. You know?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a
Yeah.
rush.
Yep. And it's
Mhm,
I also want to talk about something kind of like, I guess, on the back end.
mhm,
As some of you know, I am here in the States right now with my family, and we're
mhm,
visiting. We're visiting because it had been like 5.5 years since I came back to the States to visit my family
yeah,
and things like that. Like, people have come out to Tanzania to visit
mhm,
us, but it had been a while. And wow. Wow,
mhm,
it's almost like a reverse culture shock, or
yeah,
a period of readjustment that had to happen because I've been in Tanzania for
yeah,
so long, and I've been separated from this in the States for so long.
mhm,
It's a total readjustment. I was I felt have you ever felt like you didn't belong somewhere? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
of
Like,
course. Oh, yeah.
energetically, I really feel like I don't belong here. And it's so
Mhm,
odd because sometimes I feel like I'm talking and people just completely can't relate, or people, it
yep.
just goes over people's heads, or
Yeah,
I'm too weird, I'm too, this, that, or the third.
mhm,
And that's another aspect that you have to be okay with as well. Once
yeah,
you
it's
do, this is
mm,
this is not always going to happen
mhm,
to everyone, but once you do make that transition, it's life changing. And I'm not
yeah,
here to sell you nothing. I'm not here to sell you no dream. It really
mhm,
is. I'm speaking from my heart. It's a life changing move to
mhm,
uproot yourself. And whether you move to the continent or wherever you go, it's life changing to uproot your whole life and everything detach from that, and go set your roots in a whole different place. So if you are to return, even for a visit to your home country, be prepared to feel like an outcast. Be prepared sometimes to feel like you don't fit in. Be prepared
yeah,
to feel like people don't understand you, and you have to be okay with it. I love it.
yeah,
I kind of like that shit, to be honest. I like it. I've always been one of the
mhm,
black sheep in my family anyway, and not a black sheep in a bad way, like people shunned me
yeah,
or whatever you want to call it. Like, they know Cat's different. They know, oh,
yeah,
that's just Cat doing her thing. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
I feel like that's something that most of us share who relocate. Most of us share
yeah,
we're all the different ones in our families. We're all the ones
yeah,
who see, who break the mold, who are the people who break the generational curses, who
mhm,
set a different trend, who pave new paths for not only our family, but you know society. Like, I'm
yeah,
not, that's why I do, when I do create, content, that's why I do it. It's not necessarily I'm gonna be real. Sometimes it's not even because I like to, like,
yeah,
just being 100. Sometimes I feel like it can be taxing at times, but I feel like it's so much bigger than that, to just to show people that, this is what it could possibly be like, and that you
yeah,
can do it too. That it is
mhm,
possible to
yeah,
to set your life on a completely different path. And
yeah,
it can be a beautiful thing. It can be a very beautiful
mhm,
transition. You see what I'm
yep,
saying? So um, it's definitely something that you need to to look at the bigger picture
picture,
about.
yeah,
Um,
and
yeah,
even
because the
me, like,
transition encompasses all of that.
it
Hmm.
does. It's like even after we have been out of the US since we have been back since 2017, I think, right? And even after being away for this long, I can tell you it's like every year that goes by, I feel like I'm getting more like kind of disconnected from the few people that I did have a connection with in the United States.
Hmm.
Like I just feel like more and more it's just we're just growing further and further because it's just two different lives. It's two
Yeah.
different lifestyles. It's just
Hmm.
and that's part of life.
Yeah.
But you try to stay, you try to keep up with your people however you can. But
Yeah.
It happens, and so especially, yeah, I can imagine, like, when you I remember the first time I went back after we had been in Bali for I don't know how many years, Southeast Asia, and I went back
Mhm.
to the US, I just felt completely, like, out of place. I felt weird, I felt like I couldn't have regular conversations with people. I mean, it was just really, much more, intense. It was just a lot different than I thought it was going to be,
Right.
trying to, like, reintegrate there, and I really never did.
Mhm.
And so,
Yeah.
like, yeah. So that's part of it too. That's part of it too, you
Yeah.
know?
Mhm.
And that's
Yeah.
why,
So yeah, it's something that we have to when it comes to relocation and a whole life move like this, we have to also see what effects, or we have to kind of factor in the possible effects of what it has on the back end, and what are you ready for everything that it encompasses. And that's
Mhm.
why I feel like conversations like this are so important for you to get a real look, not a
And people don't
glamorized or romanticized look.
Yeah,
And also for you to get resources like this
yeah,
right here, like Rukia,
yeah.
definitely a resource and definitely someone who can help you through, dare I say, the most difficult part of your transition,
Yeah,
because I feel like this is not spoken about enough.
yeah.
It's more so, like you said, visas and
Mhm.
shipping containers and how to find
Yeah.
a house, what's the cost
Housing.
of
Yeah,
living and stuff
everybody
like that,
Mhm.
which are also very important, right? But
Mhm.
these are the things that need to be really, really talked about more. And
Yeah.
I think you really, really have something powerful here, sis. To be honest, I
Thank
really
you.
think you
Thank
have
you.
something powerful.
Yeah.
Because
And
like you're a herbalist and everything, and see, and
Mhm.
yo, I'm telling you, putting even that for real
Mhm.
should be a part of your transition. Like
Right.
for me
Exactly.
personally, I'm not a vegan. I was a vegetarian before I moved out to Tanzania.
Mhm.
But I'm not, vegan or anything like that. But I definitely try to eat healthier, and I use my herbs, I use my sea moss,
Yeah.
I use
Yeah.
my natural things, my skincare, my
Mhm.
hair care. These are all natural things. And
Yeah.
even if you don't see physical effects of them right
Mhm.
away, it's more so up here that
Mhm.
that you make that shift at first, that you make
Mhm.
that decision to start putting natural things in your body, that you
Yeah.
start to use a more holistic way, because where you're going is going to
Mhm.
be a more holistic lifestyle 9 times out
It
of 10
is
than where you
than what
came from.
Yeah,
So
especially
to
if you're coming
start
from the US. Yeah, for
exactly, so
sure,
to
and that's why
start
it's important
making
too
that
for you to do,
transition.
like, a detox. Like,
Mhm,
that's an option for depending on who the person I'm talking to and dealing with and their issues, and the reasons they wanna move and their lifestyle. Detox is part of that too. It can be, because
mhm,
that's important. Because if you're moving from the US to somewhere in Tanzania, they use holistic ingredients and mostly everything, especially Tanzania, even more so than Ghana, especially like the ingredients.
mhm,
Tanzania, the food staples there, like the fish and the fruits and the veg, it's everywhere and it's natural. And that might be a shock to
yeah,
some of y'all's bodies, which and if you don't have something
mhm,
right in your gut, that's gonna affect you up here. And
yep,
people don't understand that a lot of times.
mhm,
So, and
yeah,
learning basic herbalism. One thing I didn't realize how important that was going to be. Any country we've been in, right? Because
mhm.
sometimes you don't have what. Okay, in the United States, we have access to a lot of pharmaceuticals. Probably more so than anywhere else I've
Too
lived.
much.
We have something for everything, right? But when
Mhm,
you pull yourself away from that, and if that's what you've been used to, and you have to rely on sometimes natural ways to like basic things like natural ways to like cure colds and that kind of thing. So you need to learn
yeah,
your lemon, ginger, your teas and all of those
mhm,
things. So that all falls under herbalism. And those are basic
right,
things you can do to keep in your home. So we go over some of those things too, like I said, depending on the person and what the needs are. But like those things are important. They're important when you come here. Just
very
learn your basic learn what ginger root is and what it can do for you. Basil, that grows everywhere.
mhm,
Cayenne pepper, these things, they all grow pretty much anywhere you can go. You'll find these basic
yeah,
things, right? And so there's different ways you can use them to help heal yourself. it will cost less. And then when you go to some of these doctors too, abroad, because they don't have the restrictions we have in the U.S. with getting the thing. So in the U.S., you need your referrals and all of that shit. We have a lot of pharmaceuticals, but you will need your referrals and all that stuff. If you're in Tanzania or here, you can just go to the pharmacy and ask them for stuff, and they'll give it to you. You know what I mean? So a lot of times they'll be quick to prescribe you antibiotics, like this antibiotic for everything. Especially when I was in Indonesia,
They would
everything
prefer.
antibiotic. Yeah, and that's the solution for everything, right? And you don't always, it's not always necessary. You can find a natural way to do these things. So it would behoove you to learn some basic herbalism for yourself before you go somewhere
Right.
else. Also, especially if you have a family, if you have
Ooh,
children.
yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Let me respond. What's up? Okay, first it says, "Thank you, K and R. You are so welcome. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's really my pleasure. I've been missing y'all and everything." And
Yeah.
then Derek, bro, what's up? It's so good to see you. So good to feel your presence here. I'm doing well, and I speak all is well on you too. I really do. Like, man, that's what's up. It's been a while. But you know what? Back to what you were saying about the herbalism, like it's never too late to even start to tap in, because when I first came out to Tanzania, I
Hmm.
had just back in 2016, just like
Yeah.
started to leave behind, or try to leave behind some of the things, Western medicine and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I had just learned about ginger, turmeric, little things
Yeah.
like that. But when I was living in Arusha, which by the way, abundance of natural medicine.
Yeah.
A lot of the Maasai tribe are located in the Arusha region in the northern. Well, I mean, really Maasai are everywhere because they're nomadic,
Yeah.
pastoralists and stuff. So that means they travel, but it's an abundance of Maasai in Arusha, and the Maasai tribe is the mastermind, the practitioners of natural
Yep.
medicine in
Yeah.
Tanzania. Anything, any ailment,
Mhm.
any your elbow hurt, your eyelash hurt, your hairline receding, they got
Yep.
something for it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
It's
they
true.
know.
It's true.
And I remember sitting in my like the steps that go to my front yard up in Arusha, and I was just like, watching the little butterflies bounce around on the little flowers and stuff
Mhm.
like that. And I started thinking, I was like, you know what? These butterflies know which ones they can go to and know which ones they don't. And I was literally
Mhm.
like in a moment of being in stillness and watching the butterflies avoid a certain plants and stuff like that. And I was like, I wonder, I bet all of this stuff out here is medicine. So I took
Yeah.
my phone and I was taking pictures of all of it, and I put it in
Mhm.
on Google Lens. If y'all aren't
Yeah.
familiar with Google Lens, like try it. It's really cool. And I
Yeah.
started to identify every single
Mhm.
plant that I could out there in Arusha, and it was all medicine.
Yep.
Or there was a couple that were poison, like a couple of these
Yeah.
nightshade ones that were poison,
Mhm.
but it's all good to know. And I
Yeah.
actually made two videos about it. I
Mhm.
can see if in the descriptions, once this live is over, I can see if I can link those videos so you can see what I'm talking about. But it was
Yeah.
wow, it was just
Mhm.
amazing to see that, like, yo, I have medicine, dawa, which is
Mhm.
medicine in Swahili.
Yeah.
Dawa is everywhere here, and so
Mhm.
yeah, it's so fascinating once you really start to tap in
Mhm.
to what nature is providing
Mhm.
for us, and
Yep.
how vital it really is in your elevation. Like it's
Yeah.
all connected, man. It's all
And even,
connected.
even we could even, I don't know, people like even the plants and the herbs. Excuse me. A lot of it is spiritual. A lot of them, a lot of these things help you spiritually. You know, I can look
Hmm.
at these earrings, right? These earrings are made of mahogany wood. I made these earrings, by the way, y'all. But
Yes.
these, but mahogany wood is known to be a spiritual protector, to protect you, from
Mm,
evil spirits and things like that, from things coming at you. So everything, all these natural things, almost everything you see has is medicine for your physical, but also spiritually. It has a meaning too.
yeah.
So, so a lot of it is important to know. You don't have to get into all that, like before you move, but like just the basics of like how to cure a cold, how to maybe deal with headaches, naturally, all this kind of stuff. It's important just so you have it,
Yeah.
in case you don't have access to what you're used to.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And Rukia is definitely a wealth of knowledge. And like I said, it's really a blessing that she's offering her services because it's much needed in this community of us transitioning out of the states, out of uh, you know England, out of the West. It's very important that we have someone like her for real to help guide in the most important areas,
Yeah, and you have,
so
and you have somebody. There's so many of us out here doing consulting. People who are already here. You have,
mhm,
if you need help with business, you can go to whoever you need to get your
yeah,
business together. Like I know there's brothers and sisters
mhm,
in Senegal who are doing that. If you need help, so like if so that's where I felt like there was a need and where I know I can help. I
yeah,
know I can, and so that I decided to
mhm,
try and fill that void for some of us. So you know,
right
yeah,
on. Yeah, and
yeah.
I'm gonna use this opportunity, y'all, to slide on in there and let you know that,
Mhm.
as many of you know, I sell wildcrafted sea moss sourced
Yeah.
right there in Tanzania in the Indian, aka East African Ocean.
Yeah.
Just a beautiful quality, wildcrafted, delicious, top
Mhm.
quality sea moss, top notch to be
Mhm.
honest.
Yep.
And I'm doing stateside distribution
Yes.
now. So now it is available stateside, and up until September 1st, you get free shipping on everything.
Aw,
Okay, so
yay.
yeah, yeah.
So
So you guys go
what all is
ahead.
available? So it's more than just the raw sea moss you have available. What else is available?
Yes, so I have sea moss, raw sea moss powder,
Okay.
sea moss gel.
Okay, the
I
gel.
actually have one of my favorite one of my favorite things is my sea moss lip shine. So
I
it's
saw that today. I
yeah,
got so
I love
excited because
it.
I love
It's
some lip gloss.
Okay, and it's really nice. I wish
Yeah.
I wish I had it near me so I can actually show y'all what it looks like on, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's all natural, 100%
Mhm.
natural organic castor oil base with sea moss, which is collagen rich, give your lips a little plump, you know what I'm saying? Give it a little life
Yeah.
rejuvenation. And it's really softening, a nice natural shine, and just just it's really fun. It's unscented, it's
Yeah.
unflavored, none of that BS. It's just,
Yeah.
straight up natural, infused with rose as well. So it's a really
Ooh,
nice product.
rose.
Yeah. Good for
Yeah.
everyday use. But
Yeah.
yes, you guys, go ahead, tap in, place your order. Okay. Place your order,
Mhm.
get that free shipping. Orders are shipped out twice a week, Tuesdays and Fridays.
Okay.
So yes, yes. Yeah,
Yep.
go ahead, y'all.
Yeah. Do you have what's
Yeah,
the link? Somebody well, okay. If you could what's the website where people can order? What is Mhm.
travelingsister.com/cmoss. Okay,
Okay.
so www.travelingsister.com
Okay.
cmoss.
Okay.
We also have moringa powder available,
Okay. I'm
and
gonna go
we
with
also
the
have baobab powder available. But
Okay.
those are only available right now in bulk, meaning 10 pounds and up.
Okay.
So
Okay.
those would ship. Yes, those will actually be shipping from Tanzania. We are working on a strategy to get those out here as well, but as of right
Yeah.
now, what we have available stateside, sea moss powder,
Mhm.
which is actually almost sold out, you guys. It's right
Okay.
there. So
Okay.
we'll be restocking soon as well. But raw sea moss powder, sea moss gel, lip balm.
Okay.
I mean lip
Okay.
shine. So
Yes, I
okay.
want some of that
So
lip shine. I'll have to order some. My sister's coming in
I
October, so
got
I'll
you.
order some to her, have her bring it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I got you,
Yeah.
sis. I got you. So,
Mhm.
you guys, I feel like this is the conclusion of this
Yeah.
video, and I hope that you guys, how did you feel? What are your takeaways? Let me know. Let me know how y'all felt about this. I love the information. I love the flow that
Yeah, this was
it
fun.
was going,
Yeah.
and yeah. So, sis,
Yeah.
it's been a pleasure as always.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah,
have
we should do this
anything else
again.
to say or
No,
anything
I
to
think we
add?
covered all the things.
Mhm.
Yeah, we covered all the next thing is to get you here to visit
Yeah,
for
dead
a visit so
serious.
you can see Ghana too. Yeah.
Yep, for sure. So, okay. Well, Y'all know what it is. I enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this. I'm
Yeah,
coming
me
back.
too.
Okay. Don't get on me. I'm coming back. It's been a while, but I had to get
Yeah.
some things straight with myself and
Mhm.
straight with life. Life was life in, but I am here. I'm back and I really truly miss y'all. Y'all be seeing me a lot more. So, okay.
Mhm.
All right. Well, y'all know what it is. Always benefit from your your posts. Oh, yes. I'm so
Oh,
happy to
thank
hear
you.
that. Yeah, I'm so happy to hear
Thank
that. Good to
you.
see you both. You look so happy and peaceful. Yeah, yeah, honestly. Yep. Blessings. Yes, sis and sis.
This is
Okay.
this. Yeah, thank you.
Mhm. Okay, y'all know what it is. I love y'all so much. Love y'all so much. Peace.
Bye.